Hello, 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 hello. Let's turn this fucking piece of shit up. Hello, 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 hello. Hello. Fuck. Okay, there we go. That first sip.
Welcome to the Fantasy Cast podcast, where three grown men pass the time by sharing their deepest, darkest fantasies. Here we go.
I'm saying, I think.
I mean, we were all drunk. Everyone was. We were at a bar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Did you say something that set her off, or?
No. This happens anytime I've seen her, sober or non-sober. Yeah. It's like her. It's like her thing.
She just likes to she likes to get little jabs in at John, and she's trying to poke him.
Yeah, just a little something.
Caught him on the right day, and he gave it to her. That's what that sounds like.
Yeah, send her straight to hell.
You keep messing with someone, eventually they're gonna reach their limit.
Exactly. She caught him on the right day. It's what she was looking for, and he gave it to her.
John's been
I'll be
doing
right
her a
back.
favor this entire time.
What? Someone's picking something up from Nathan? He's selling something on Marketplace?
I don't know what the fuck he's doing. It's weird. He's acting weird.
It's like it's drugs or something.
Yeah, he's like, something's not right. Something's off. Everything's off right now.
Yeah.
I'm nervous. I think this is going to be a good session, though.
I think so. I'm going off the cuff. No notes.
All right.
Haven't done that before.
You're ready, dude. Just, you know what the right thing to say is. You just got to trust yourself. It's scary. It's terrifying. This is actually stuff I cover a lot, and I guess I'll just tell you, since Nathan's checked out, doesn't really give a shit about the podcast anymore. I had some people over, and I requested a space in the basement of a Unitarian church for Mike Lopez Nation.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple people showed up that were friends of this podcast, and people from all the jobs I've had, people from Instagram that I've kept in touch with that aren't really unfamiliar with what I do. And it was really simple. So it's similar to what we do here. I kind of call them my babies, and they go around and they would go around and tell their fantasies as best they could. And I didn't offer advice or anything. I didn't tell them that was right or wrong. I just listened, and we ended up having a pretty good session. So we're probably going to do this 2-3 times a week, go to the basement of this Unitarian church, and we'll just see where it goes. A lot of people were opening up, and some of them were crying, some of them were aroused. I saw a couple people holding hands. I told them, guys, whatever you want to do, that's fine. Don't do it here. I don't want to know about it. It's frowned upon for me. There will be repercussions if I do find out, but it's so far so good, and it's just a free open thing. So anyone out there interested, just hit me up. I'll have to ask Nathan what our email is, and I'll give that out later on. John, let me ask you a follow-up question from the past couple episodes. Have you listened to an episode of the podcast yet?
I still haven't listened, no. I don't know when I would. I don't know when the right time would be.
Because you've waited this long.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
sorry,
I'm
guys.
gonna Mike, I think I'm gonna listen to the last one that you edited. Because I honestly didn't know that there was I just kind of thought that Nathan was just editing a few little things and just
it's
running
developing,
it. I didn't know that there was more into it.
John's developing. You listen to an episode, you're going to want to get in there. Supply some. You're going to want to supply some moods. I know you're capable of doing it.
It's so fun.
Yeah, I think I like that.
And then you start thinking about the moods. Like I was listening to some Christmas carols as I was envisioning how I'm going to tell his fantasy, and it just took me there. You know what I mean? Can I kick something off, you guys, about talk to you guys about fantasy I found that I shared?
Wait, hold on a second.
You got something more you want to say?
Yeah, can I get some all eyes on the on the cameras? I want to see your eyes. John, are you ready to do this? Nathan, are you ready? Nathan, let me get your eyes. Nathan, are you ready to do this?
I'm very ready, Mike.
Ask me.
Spin that shit. Mike, are you ready?
I am ready. Let's do this. Take it away, Nathan.
Okay, this is titled. It's from the erotica subreddit. It's titled, I fucked a guy who was getting bullied by a guy who likes me. There's a funny, athletic, confident, cocky bully in my class. I know he's had the hots for me because he basically says it. He always asks me out on dates and I always turn him down. But he doesn't get it. I always turn him down, but he doesn't get it. Anytime I turn him down. He likes to bully this one kid named Aaron to make himself feel better. Maybe if he didn't bully Aaron, I'd be a little bit more into him. But it's a complete turnoff. So I decided to have sex with Aaron as a charity fuck. Aaron is a shorter, fatter guy who doesn't talk a lot. He has freckles and red hair, and I know a lot of guys pick on him for no reason. I've been making little hints for some time until finally I got his contact info and had him come over. I told him that I felt bad and wanted to fuck him, and he was distraught. I even told him to capture it so he could show the bully in class. Finally, we were in class and he showed most of the class by passing his phone around with a huge grin on his face. His bully, the guy who liked me, was pissed off. But eventually, the bullying stopped and went towards the bully because everyone found out he was still a virgin. That's the end of it. That's the end of the fantasy. It's the end of the erotic fantasy. So I guess I'm curious. I mean, just initial reactions, but like, what would your fantasy be given that setup?
Well, in this situation, I probably identify more with the bully.
Mm-hmm.
You know, someone who's suffering, taking it out on others all the time.
Yeah.
Especially those that I perceive as weak, because I see my own weakness in them.
Mm-hmm.
And if that happened to me, I'm assuming this is in grad school. You think it's like college, grad school? College, yeah, okay. So if it was like in an American college, a lot of people in Indonesia and Venezuela don't quite understand what college is like here in America. It can get pretty violent pretty quick. It's kind of like Laws of the Jungle. You guys in Venezuela and Indonesia know that song, Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses. It's a lot like that. And it's dog eat dog out there. So if that happened to me, God, I would probably be so angry and sad. You know, at the same time, I'd be crying because I'm seeing someone that I have strong feelings for having sex with someone I don't respect. It's happened to me the entirety of my life. And that would just make it worse. I think this person, it's never said if it's a guy or a girl. I don't think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I would also ramp up my like obsession with them. You know? So this would be just the perfect storm for me to this is the beginning of the story. This is act 1. You know what I mean? I'm talking doing just like despicable Michael Haneke style mental torture on both of these guys.
Yeah.
What do you guys
taking
think?
your bullying to another level?
Yeah, like scary stuff.
If I was the bully, I would probably try. I would make up with the kid I was bullying, and I would try to fuck him, you know, in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And forget about the girl, you know.
Yeah.
She wants nothing to do with me, so I turn that kid out. Like his freshman year, he's just like known as just this piece of shit, like just a whore, you know.
You make You start like a website where there's like several videos under his name.
Yeah. And that girl just, whatever.
Life
It disappears. Yeah, life goes on.
Yeah, well, what are you gonna do with that? You basically turn her own like kink against her.
Nathan, you got a little robot sound going.
God, fuck.
Transformer ass.
Okay, hold on. Let me fix this. Still
Sounds
there?
cool.
It does sound cool.
Hold on.
It sounds good now.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a track going.
Oh, cool.
Tonight, so.
John, you're sad as fuck right now.
I'm good.
Oh, you are? Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm great. I bought a PS5.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I'm fucking awesome right now.
What game did you get? Did you get the new Grand Theft Auto?
No, that comes out next year.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
upgraded it
fun.
so you can
Costs like $150 or something. It's crazy.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah.
In this version, what's different from this version than the other versions is you can fuck people doggy style in this one.
Yeah. You give head too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You give head. It's
The
like
game-
pulling out a gun. It's as easy as pulling out a gun. You can give anyone on the street head.
This is gonna be a good thing for people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's a good game.
the last one got slammed because you couldn't give back shots. You could only do missionary and
They wouldn't let you
alcohol.
pull out.
Yeah, you had to. It was like some weird thing where you had to bust inside of them.
Yeah, I just thought it was too graphic to blow loads.
Yeah. Now you can rope in this new
Yeah.
one.
Nathan,
Plus
what's your take?
the tech wasn't there.
No.
Not at all. It looks fake.
My take.
Yeah.
So I identify as I had a whole different take on this one. I identify as the nerd. But I have like a different approach. So here I am. I'm short, fat, I have freckles, but I'm confident. I know who and what I am. I'm a funny guy. I'm actualized. I'm a young man, but I'm very much confident in who I am. And there's this like dipshit jock guy who might be mentally ill or at very least has suffered some kind of brain damage, who makes fun of me, and I just don't let it bother me. And here comes along this woman who, for some reason, feels like she needs to fuck me in order to have some kind of meaning in her life or purpose, to make herself, feel like a good person or whatever. So I go over to her house and I fuck her and I film it. And turns out the jock doesn't even know who she is. You know what I mean? She's just had this whole like idea that this jock wanted to have sex with her and she was going to get back at him somehow by fucking me, thinking that it was going to do me some kind of a favor, but I didn't need it. So I just had sex with her and kept it moving.
You show him the video, he's like, "Oh, this is really cool."
Yeah,
And he's like,
exactly.
and you're like, do you see who that is? He's like, "I have no idea who that is.
Exactly.
Who is that?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "She's in our class." And you're like, and he's like, I really don't know who you're talking about.
How cool would that be? I'm just
That
like,
would be pretty cool.
I walk in, I walk into the room, and he's like, "Hey, there goes that freckled fuck, that fat freckled piece of shit." And I walk over to him, I'm like, "Shut up, settle down, take a look at this. You know who this is? See this girl I'm having sex with? You know who this is?" He's like, "No, I don't." And I'm like, "You sure?" He's like, "I have no idea who that is." I think that would really break the ice, and
Yeah.
just change our relationship.
Yeah, he would
Imagine-
probably like you.
Imagine if you did that. Imagine you're bullying a guy, right?
Yeah.
Just we've all been there. Let's just admit it. We've all bullied people in our lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
The guy you're bullying walks up to you, shows you a video of some girl he's having sex with. That just changes the relationship. You can't help but respect that, regardless of whatever the circumstances of it are.
Yeah, that's showing some balls.
Yeah.
Like, this is someone I had sex with. Not only am I not ashamed of my naked body, but I'm sharing this with you.
Yeah, with the permission of the girl that, like, the girl wants you to do that.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
It's
not
not
like
another form of bullying.
right. It's like the girl that is having sex with me to get at this guy who doesn't know her at all wanted me to show him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like I'm, doing anything without consent. But how cool would
Thanks
that
for
be?
specifying that.
Yeah. Like you sit down, like you're bullying somebody. The guy you're bullying comes up to you, sits you down, and is like, "I have permission from my girlfriend to show you this. Look at my stroke." You know what I mean?
Fuck style.
Yeah. Take some balls to do that. I mean, I wouldn't be able to do that. Somebody's
I just-
bullying me to walk up to him and show him my fuck style.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. That's my whole take on the whole thing.
I think it's gonna be good content. How about I go?
Yeah, hit me.
Okay. I got a couple beats I want to hit. Let's see how this goes, okay? So, I'm a single guy.
Mm-hmm.
I own a couple properties, family business of running some real estate. I'm kind of a fitness freak. I get an injury at the gym because I'm addicted to kratom, and I just take a whole bunch and different other concoctions and shit, and I just damage my body really bad working out at the gym. Only the machines, never the weights, because I'm afraid of the guys that are there. And I have to go to a physical therapist. And so I take a big old dose of kratom. I'm going to go to the physical therapy place right down the street. And I'm just relaxed as hell. I'm cracking everybody up. I'm telling them about my life and like my body goals and just kind of everything I think that's wrong with my body. I start opening up about my father, my relationship with him, and my mother, who was always there, but it just, it was really my dad was like the issue. And there's 3 trainers that are like, they're working on other people, and they start chatting with me because I'm just so comfortable and in a good mood, high as a kite. And I like feel no pain, and I'm doing all these exercises, and they're like, "You're really good at that." They have no idea. I've omitted the fact that I'm basically taking opiates all day long and exercising. I'm like, "What are you guys off?" This is like the 4th time I've been there. They're like, "Mike," they all know me by name. They're like, "Mike, we're off at like in just a couple hours. Why? What's up?" I'm like, "Man, let's go to the bar and get a couple drinks and some cheeseburgers." We go to the bar. I'm charming their pants off. I'm entertaining the hell out of them. One of the women, she's nice, but she's a little icy. She's one of these women that's genetically cold. You know what I mean? Like tall-ish, thinnish, with like dark hair, but that's like in a bob. You know what I mean? It's a certain kind of woman. And I find are you guys there? Am I frozen in shit right now?
No.
Oh, you're just like still.
We'll just be quiet.
Oh, okay. Okay. And I'm just like, I find myself, I'm like, that's the one. So I start, hitting on her friend who's blonde and more warm and everything like that. We go back to the blonde one's house, and we basically, all 3 of us have sex. But I feel like while we're having sex, the woman with dark hair is just a little standoffish. She's just kind of trying to fit in. So as I'm walking out, I'm like, "You want to ride home?" She's like, "Sure, I got to meet up with my son." I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know you had a kid." She's like, "Yeah, I got a son." It's kind of a rough time right now. I don't know if you noticed back there, but I'm a little disconnected. He's kind of a problem child. And I say, "Okay, well, let me drop you off." I drop her off. The kid's out in the front yard just like lighting a mattress on fire. You know what I mean? He's like peeing and like chasing other kids around and stuff. He's like a bad kid, dirty, and he's got a mean little face. I'm like, oh, wow. But as she's getting out, she gives me a look, and I can just tell there's just something there. So I'm like, I'm going to go for this. She's like, okay, if we're going to go for this is through text during the week. She's like, you got to know, you got to get in with my son. I can't be with someone who isn't in with my son. Okay, so I'm like, well, why don't we go? I'll make this work. Okay, I'll take him out a couple times. She's like, all right, I got a special surprise for you if you can win this guy over, because he's a tough nut to crack. I take him to mini golf. I take him to mini golf. He's beating the shit out of the mini golf machines with the putter. You know what I mean? He kicks me in the crotch. I bend over, and he whacks me in the face with the putter. I get a black eye. I take him to the batting cages another time. You want some ice cream with that? And he takes the ice cream, throws it up in the air, hits it with the baseball bat, and lands like right in the middle of my chest. Chocolate all over my new silk shirt. He's hitting the balls. I'm like, hey, you're pretty good. He's like, yeah, no shit, I'm really good. I've been playing Little League for longer than you've been, S&D, something really foul like that. And I'm like, I'm on the other side of the fence. He's lucky I was on the other side of the fence. I'm like squeezing the fence. I'm like ready to kill this kid. He's like, what are you going to do? And to provoke me even further, he's like hitting softballs like at me on the fence. You know what I mean? Like just laser shotting it on me, okay? And I'm like, well, that was a failure. I basically kick him out of the car in front of the house. I'm like, well, I'm not going to be sleeping with this woman. And then I'm pleasuring myself in the car to pictures of her on my cell phone. Just like regular pictures of her emotionless face. And I go to physical training, and they're like, yeah, they're like, if you want to get in with this kid, you just got to keep trying. Okay, I was like, okay, so I'll try one more time. So I'm like, I'm going to take him to the most fun water slide in the city or something like that. I go and pick him up, and he's like, you're never going to win me over. I get a call on my cell phone. There's two tenants that haven't paid rent. One of them has green hair and a nose piercing, terrifying. Another one is skin like paper thin, hairless, but wears like a leather, like a denim vest and has like homemade tattoos. Terrifying folks. I'm like, I gotta get rid of these guys. So I'm like, kid, all right, you wait in the car. I park the car in front of the property. I go in the back. I get a baseball bat. He sees me going in there and his eyes light up. Okay. I kick in the door and I'm just beating these guys up. It's a cruel world we live in. Okay. And I kick them on the lawn. I start pulling all their clothes out. I throw paint all over their clothes. And I'm like, you're out of here. You've never seen someone more enraged and violent and insane. The kid runs out there. And the two tenants are like, what are you going to do, kid? Get out of here. What are you, his son? Are you a little rat landlord too? You know what I mean? He kicks him square in the crotch. You know what? They both bend over. He's like, oh, baseball bat. You know what I mean? He starts picking up their toys or whatever they have and starts batting them at them and hitting them with laser focus. I'm like, okay, so we bonded. You know what I mean? We had like a good time. They tried to steal some stuff out of the basement, so we break a couple of their fingers. Okay, so I'm like, all right, don't you tell your mom about this. And he's like, I promise I won't. I take him back there, and we're just two happy guys. You know what I mean? And I'm like, why don't you go play? I want to hang out with your mom. She's like, wow, you really won him over. I want to show you something. Okay, she grabs my hand, takes me upstairs. Okay, wait here. She pushes me down on the bed. She goes in the bathroom, and she comes out, and she's wearing like a tight mini skirt, one piece, black tights, high heels, makeup on. She's looking fine right now. Okay. And I'm like, all right. I start taking my clothes off, and she's like, well, slow down. She comes up to me. I'm sitting down in the bed. She gestures with her hand. Sit up. I sit up. Okay. She sticks her crotch in my face. Okay. Rolls up her skirt. Okay. And she's just like matches my head into her face. Okay. And I'm just like, wow, he's out. I'm reaching behind, grabbing her butt. She then pushes me down, sits on my face with the pantyhose on, right? Okay. And I'm like, okay, now things are going good. I'm getting pretty rock hard. She flops around. Okay, so she bends over and then pulls my pants down, rips my shirt open, okay, and starts playing with my stuff with her hands. Okay. I rip open her pantyhose and I'm just burying my face in that. Okay. She starts giving me a blowjob, making noises. She's still like stiff, you know what I mean? But she's warming up. She's getting into it. Okay. So we're doing that for a little bit. I stand up. I'm walking around, my classic move, where we're doing standing 69. Then I flip her down. I flop her down on the bed. Okay. It's the middle of the day. It's there. Okay. I stand up. I gotta get my shit together. I take all my clothes off. She starts taking all of her clothes off. We're definitely gonna have sex now. She gestures for me to get on the bed. She's on all fours. Okay. I get on there. It's a big bed. I'm starting knee walking over towards her. She starts giving me more head. I'm like, all right, enough of this. Okay. She laughs. I push her down. She lays down on her back, okay, and then we're making out, rolling around. We still have not penetrated yet, okay? Fingers running through my hair, running my fingers through her hair, making out sloppy style, Okay, it's heating up, revving up. I start rubbing my genitals on her genitals to get it all hot and warm and ooey gooey. Then it's time to slide in. I slide in. She's looking me right in the eyes, both hands around the back of my head, mouth slightly open, exhales. I'm in. Start out slow, back and forth. It's really slow. And it feels like forever. It feels like a really long time. You know what I mean? And we're like, we both kind of agreed, like looking at each other, nodding at each other, like, we're just going to enjoy this. What's the rush? There's no rush. We got all day. The kid is having the time of his life. She says, let me get on top. She gets on top and she starts grinding. I'm grabbing her bottom, guiding the rhythm of the whole thing. And things are just opened up to a new level. I raise my knees up and I just start going for it, going hard. We're going hard. I got to slow down because I can feel her starting to tighten, and I'm starting to like get there too. So I got to cool off. So she lays on her side, giving her a reach around basically, while hitting it from the back, side saddle style. We're doing that for a bit. It gets kind of boring, and then I get back on top. And I just go for it. I feel like I could like make it last for a really long time if I wanted to, and we're just in it. It feels good. We come simultaneously at the same time. We both lay down on our backs, we're panting and just spacing out for like 10 minutes, just like trying to comprehend what's going on. She's looking over at me and I can just tell like this is gonna be a thing. I've broken through. She doesn't have that look in her eyes anymore. Okay, and I'm like, okay, I gotta get some work done. So I put all my clothes back on, and she says, let's get dinner later on tonight after my kid goes to sleep. And I say, okay, that sounds fun. We'll get some dinner, it's summertime, and then we'll get a drink and walk around. I'm walking out of her apartment, and the kid's nowhere to be seen, which is a relief to me. I get in my car, and as I'm driving, I drive by one of my properties, and I see it's on fire. This kid's lit one of my properties on fire. Okay. The police show up. I tell the kid to run back home down the street. I take the blame. I go to jail. And this woman visits me in jail. You know what I mean? And is crying. It's like she finally found someone that she could be with. But the tragedy is that I'm now in jail because I did win her son over. You know what I mean?
That's beautiful.
Thanks, man.
And you know what? You took the rap for her kid. That's loyalty.
Yeah, man.
You know? You didn't have to do that. You could have just blamed it all on that shitty fucking rotten kid.
Yeah. But something happened with me too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So here you are struggling to like connect with this kid through all these honestly tedious, well-worn ways of stereotypically connecting with a kid, mini golf, batting cages, just humiliating yourself in these institutions. And all that you guys needed to do to connect was for him to see you, the real you, come out as you're just ravaging these people's property, dumping bleach on their clothes and everything. And in exchange for that, you get rewarded with a hand job, a blow job, 69, genital to genital contact, and finally at the very end, right when you don't think you're going to penetrate, she lets you slip it into her ass. How good did that feel? And you just take it home,
I think you misunderstood me, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, that's cool though. I mean, even yeah. Just like full. We gave it all up for each other.
Yeah, and she's still with you. She is still. It's more than sex at this point. Like you said, you broke through.
Yeah.
I haven't really heard you have sex in a fantasy in a long time.
Yeah, I feel like I could really get the motor going. I feel rusty.
I thought the ripping of the pantyhose was really sexy.
That was the peak for me, and I kind of dropped the ball. Then just kind of became like standard sex for me. It's hard to keep up that intensity. I mean, the build up, I don't know. I'm a little rusty, so I'd like to bring it back. It's hard to do, or just because it's been so long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like I had some pretty good ones earlier on that were whatever. No need to get into it. But I feel like people have been provoking me and just time to bring back the old Mike.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, people have been dropping hints that they wanted to hear you talk about penetrating somebody. So I'm glad that you picked it up, but you did it on your terms, which is I always appreciate. You didn't sell out to do it. You got there. You took us there. It took a while. There was some back and forth. You warmed
Yeah.
everybody up, and then boom, hit us with it.
She's so fine too. She's
Oh,
beautiful.
I bet.
My God.
And you know what else you forgot to? Uh, you didn't forget to. It just got lost in the mix. But this is also a fantasy of you being a successful property owner, having
Yeah,
passive income.
that's always
You know?
something I've wanted to be, is like someone who can afford their own insurance. I'm hoping one day that I might be able to do that. I
Yeah.
never have. So yeah, that's a fantasy of mine for sure, big time.
Yeah. And also, I gotta admit, I got a little bit excited when you went for the bat in the back of your car
Mhm.
because how good would it feel? You've got a couple of deadbeats, right?
Mhm.
Living in one of your properties. Like they're occupying your house. It's because it's basically your house. Your name is on
Mhm.
the deed. They're shitting on your floors,
Mhm.
disrespecting your home,
Yeah.
just leaving their garbage everywhere, not paying rent, treating it like it's a fucking pigsty, and you get to go in there and just beat the fucking shit out of them with
I
a
mean,
baseball
who
bat.
knows what else these guys. It's people that have blue hair, side shaves. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They have like these jackets with like patches on. They're wearing big boots. It's like, God knows what else they're into. Like satanic stuff, like child abuse stuff. I don't
yeah.
know what drugs. Who knows? They scare me. People like that.
I pictured you as you were throwing all their shit out in the lawn. You pick up a crate of rockabilly vinyls and just like drop it on the ground in shock and horror.
Yeah.
Some Reverend Horton Heat albums.
Sure. Whatever. I don't know what that is.
Just real mean, angry, bitter, twisted stuff. Just real
Okay, yeah,
twisted,
like
evil
heavy
stuff.
metal stuff. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, scary stuff. Yeah, I don't get it.
Sca-
Anyways,
Terrifying.
so yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to get back into shape. So there you have it.
I love it.
Nice.
Can I tell you my Christmas fantasy?
Oh God, yes.
So obviously 'tis the season, so I thought I'd drop a little bit of holiday cheer on you guys. So this is a fantasy, but it's also a kind of an expose. Like you said, Mike, a lot of our listeners are international in countries where they don't allow pornography, so they need to listen to us in order to get off and to be able to fantasize. So this is just kind of like I'm taking back the curtain a little bit to show people who aren't in the United States like what happens at a typical U.S. holiday Christmas party, right? So just to kind of give you guys and just a lot of our U.S. listeners, maybe you're not in that kind of like work culture yet, but you'll get there. And this is kind of what you can be prepared for. So picture me, right? Late 20s, very successful, graduated college, top of my class, got a job right out of school, worked my way up. I'm in like a middle management position at an office, and I've got the world by the balls, except in one area of my life, and that's romance. I'm just lonely. I can't find the right girl, except there's this one woman at my office who I'm really, really connecting with. And she's not just gorgeous, she's not just smart, she's not just funny, but we're just on the same frequency. We just get each other, like she knows if I'm having a bad day, she can pick up on it. She'll come by, she'll tell me a little joke, lift my spirits up. And so you're thinking, like, why hasn't this thing happened yet? And it's complicated in like a work kind of relationship. It's especially nowadays, like to find a romance in the workplace, there's just a lot of hoops you have to jump through. And honestly, what it comes down to is I'm scared. I'm scared that this is the real thing, and I'm scared that I'm going to get my heart broken. And on top of everything else, it's at the workplace. So if it doesn't work out, I got to show up there every day, and we got to do that whole thing, and it's just a headache. So there's this tension brewing. We can both feel it. And so I'm sitting there at my work. The holiday party is that evening. I'm just watching the clock go. And I've got a coworker of mine, this woman Cindy, and she's a little bit older. We've got like a rapport going, but there's nothing sexual there. It's just a friend thing, and she knows how I feel about this other woman. This other woman's named Vivica. She knows how I feel about Vivica, and so she's like, "You gotta do it. You just gotta do it. Life is too short. You have to take the plunge." You get your heart broken. Who cares? You get up, you dust yourself off, you go fight another day. It's fine. Just go for it, man. Just go for it. I'm like, easier said than done, Cindy. I'm just, every time I want to make a move, my palms get sweaty, and I don't know. I just back out. I'm really frustrated with myself. So, I've been going online. I've been looking up, going on pickup culture websites and trying to figure out how to make the right move. And there's this Christmas party coming up, and I'm thinking maybe this is the right time. And so I read that if you get a piece of mistletoe and you attach it to a stick and you find a way to mount it onto this is what I'm reading on these websites, you find a way to mount it onto your belt buckle. So there's a piece of mistletoe hanging right above your penis and testicles. This is like a really good icebreaker to get women to come on to you. So, I have this thing. I have it in my pocket. I'm going to put it out on the Christmas party. And I see this girl, Vivica. She's out, she's outside vaping we're in like an office building. There's a little patio area, outdoor area, balcony. And so I go out there and I'm like, "Hey, you excited about this Christmas party? You sticking around?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm excited about this Christmas party, but I'm really excited about the after party." And I'm like, "The after party?" She's like, "Oh yeah, you got to stick around for the after party if you haven't been to one. That's when shit gets really crazy." I'm like, I might just have to stick around for that. So we're looking outside, and she says, "Man, just once in my life, I would like a white Christmas in this shitty town. I don't think I've ever had a white Christmas." And I'm like, "Well, the weatherman says there's maybe a 0.5% chance it's going to snow tonight." And she's like, "Well, I'm not going to hold my breath, but man, wouldn't that be magical?" I'm like, "Yeah, it would be." She's like, "Well, you gotta go." So she goes back inside. Go back to my desk. I enter in a couple numbers into the spreadsheet that I'm working on. I enter a 5, I enter a 3, a 0. I hit enter. Finished for the day for work. Have the regular office Christmas party. And now here comes the after party. All the squares go home. And all the real party animals, the ones that really want to find out what they're about, really want to celebrate, really want to get down, they stick around for the after party. So if you're out there in some of these countries, you don't know about the United States culture, if you're ever in the United States and you hear about an after party, you stick around for that because you will see some fucking crazy shit. So at this after party, we have everybody, once all the squares leave, we're all sticking around and we start to get loose. We start to get comfortable. There's like a vibe. There's like a spirit in the air. People are maybe starting to unbutton some of their buttons. Maybe they start smoking a little reefer, tooting a little coke, maybe getting loose. This is the time where, this kind of sexual energy is starting to come out. People are touching each other, caressing each other, maybe giving each other light kisses. Things are getting a lot more frisky and a lot more playful. People, maybe if you're at a work culture where these things happen a lot, maybe there's been people at the office for a long time and they know each other's kinks, so people start getting into character. There's a woman walking around pretending that she's a train. There's another guy who normally shows up to work in a shirt that says NPR nerd on it, NPR radio nerd. He's walking around on the ground pretending to be a puppy, right? So people are just really getting into character. And that's when a game starts to, an icebreaker game kicks off, and it's called Pink Elephant, right? It's similar to White Elephant. I know a lot of you guys are thinking, okay, there's White Elephant. And for those who don't know, White Elephant's a game. It's basically like a grab bag where you take a gift, except other people have the opportunity to steal your gift, right? So it just puts a little spin on it, makes stakes are a little bit higher, right? So Pink Elephant is a sexual version of White Elephant. Everybody strips down, butt-ass naked, right? And you pick a number. And the first person, number 1, goes, and he or she walks up and down the line, looks at all the different naked bodies, and picks somebody that they want to have sex with, right? Number 2 goes. They walk up and down the naked bodies. They pick somebody they want to have sex with. and so on and so on. However, if somebody wants to have sex with somebody who a previous person picked, they can go ahead and steal that person, right? So things start going. We all start picking numbers. I grab a number somewhere in the middle, right? So when my number comes up, I look across the room and I see Vivica there. And she just looks picture perfect. Now, keep in mind, this is the first time that I've seen her naked, and it delivers. Curves all in the right spots. Everything's just supported in all the right ways, and I'm just entranced. And I say, Vivica, come over here. She gives me a little wink and a smile. She got this little smile that looks like the Grinch. It just goes up in a way it looks like the Grinch. It's the sexiest thing. So she comes over, and we're waiting around, waiting for everybody else to pick. And I'm rock hard at this point, right? And so she's standing in front of me, and she's reaching behind, and she's like tapping my penis with her hand like this, just like swatting it a little bit. And she's tapping it like when you go to the doctor's office and the nurse needs to find a vein to give you a shot or take blood, just like she's smacking it around, just edging the shit out of me. Like she knows exactly what she's doing. And up walks fucking Gary from accounting, this fucking sack of shit. He wins the fantasy football league every year, and he walks up and he steals Vivica from me. So not only does he steal Vivica, so he gets to have sex with Vivica now, but now I have to have sex with him, right? Because at the end of the day, everybody's having sex with somebody, and somebody's having sex with you, right? So now I have to have sex with fucking Gary. So somebody's having sex with me, I'm having sex with Gary, Gary's having sex with Vivica. What a fucking bummer. Lucky for me, my good friend Cindy has the last number. And now she could pick whoever she wants. She could pick the office stud, the guy that everybody wants to fuck. But she does me a favor, and this is I see this as a holiday blessing, as she picks me, right? So I don't have to fuck this creep Gary. Now he's still gonna have sex with Vivica, but now I'm having sex with Cindy. Cindy's having sex with Gary. Gary's having sex with Vivica. So I'm like, God, thank you, Cindy. So the sleigh bell rings, right? Which is like it's go time, and everybody just starts fucking and sucking and finger blasting and flicking and tickling and just all the fucking, and everybody's getting down in every kind of freaky way you can imagine. And because of the sequence of the game, Pink Elephant, basically a circle is formed, a fuck circle is formed, and this is known as the wreath, right? And so everybody's fucking, and I'm having sex with Cindy, and I look a few people over, and I make eye contact with Vivica, and I see her, and just for a moment there, time kind of slows down, and she's getting fucked by Gary, and I'm fucking Cindy, and for a moment there, it feels like we're having sex with each other. You know, we're in the same motion. She's connecting with the way that I'm moving, and it just feels like we're the ones who are having sex, even though we're a couple people removed. It was a really beautiful thing. Cindy, because she's my girl, and she's, you know, she throws in a couple of extra moans here and there to make it seem like I'm really rocking her world, so that Vivica is impressed, and, you know, Vivica sees through it. Cindy kind of overdoes it on the acting part. But Vivica really appreciates that Cindy has my back like that, you know. So everybody's fucking, guys are coming at different times. And the great thing about one of these after parties is that it's not just all about just hedonism, right? There's a chalice in the center that's made out of a little bit metal, a little bit ice, right? And when a guy has to come, he pulls out and runs over to the chalice and busts in the chalice. And by the end of the night, everybody busts in the chalice. You get a very sizable amount of cum in there. You donate it to charity. It's great. We raise about $350 to get iPads to, you know, like some country that needs them. I don't know, somewhere. And so it's a really great thing. It's starting to wind down. People are just kind of like lazily jacking each other off. Some guys can't come. Some people have come a bunch of times. It's the party's starting to wind down. The bar is starting to run out of booze. And I look across and I see Vivica out on the balcony and she's vaping. And I go into my bag and I get the mistletoe thing that I'm going to hang on my belt loop. And I'm walking out there and I just get, how some spirit comes over me. Like I don't know if you call it a holiday miracle, but I just get a change of heart. And I take the mistletoe, I curl it up, I throw it in the trash. And I just walk out there and I say, Vivica, I love you. And I pull her in tight and I kiss her. And we're out there on the balcony. I just have a belt on. She's naked. And I look up. And once again, it seems like time slows down a little bit. But I swear I see a snowflake. And I see another snowflake. And another snowflake. And holy shit if it isn't snowing. And it's a white Christmas. And we both look up in the sky and we see the snowflakes coming down and we smile and we look at each other and we start kissing again. And as I'm kissing, I notice I hear some jingling, and I swear to God, and you probably won't believe me, I saw Santa's silhouette go across the moon. How crazy is that? Beautiful Christmas. We end up getting together. We rise together. We rose together in that moment. That's the moment that we bonded. And we get married and we have kids and we live happily ever after. I mean, I know that's corny, but we live happily ever after. And that's it.
It's not really nice.
Thanks.
I thought the snowflake was going to be Gary blowing loads off the roof or something like that.
I'm glad you said that. I had so many different ways I wanted to go with the white Christmas thing.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be really Yeah, I thought it'd be cool if I instead of busting in the chalice, I snuck and busted in my hand. And then I
and
jammed
threw it
inside.
out.
Threw it up in the air outside, or I jammed it in the snow globe. And I said, well, it's not snowing outside, but we've got our white Christmas here. And I shake up the snow globe that has my cum inside of it.
That's cute too, though.
Yeah. So I think there's ways to make it work where it's not just completely centered around the cum.
I mean, it could be snow, it could be calm. It doesn't matter. What's really important is the connection between you and
Exactly.
Vivica.
And that's what it's about. That's what the holiday season's about. It's not about the gifts and whatever else other fucking weird shit you do with your coworkers. It's about the connection that you have with the people in your life that you care about.
On your deathbed, that's what you're going to remember. You're not going to remember going to this party, seeing all your coworkers sucking and fucking each other. You know what I mean? Blasting ropes all over each other's backs, or, squirting on each other, or, someone like gagging, throwing up on the floor. It doesn't matter any of that. It's just like, it's the people's smile. It's their laughs. It's who they are. You were there with them. You touched them. They touched you. That's all that matters.
So that I could foster this connection. Like, she cared enough about me. This is my office friend. Like, she had to finger fucking Gary from accounting. He had to finger his ass.
Do you think Cindy kind of like loved you and you didn't pick up on it?
See, I was thinking about that, and I did fuck her, but it's more of a she might have, like, in another life. One of those things where, like, man, if I was 15, 20 years younger, I would have snatched you off the market, young fella. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Like, she's kind of an old vet.
Gotcha.
Still has it all together, knows what she's doing, just sexy in her own right. But, it's just, we're at different places in our life. We want different things. She gets that. You just roll your eyes at me, Mike.
It's just like, shut the fuck. Just keep going. Well, actually, yeah, just to bring that up, laid it out. Great diction, and the build-up is monumental. and the White Christmas thing is great because you're waiting to see. It's so obvious that that's going to show up later on, but in a good way. But you could have just ended it, and then it was a White Christmas. And then it's like left up to us. Like we know that you're the cat's in the bag at that point. That's the strip criticism. Sorry. What else can you say?
Yeah, go ahead, John.
Okay, I'm
Yeah,
ready.
John.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mike's trying to provoke me into something, so you can just go ahead.
I'm just gonna go ahead. All right, I'm like early 30s. Just recently got married. I used to be a big guy. Like as a really fat kid. I started running, working out, and I landed this woman who's she's like a dime, So I know that she's like out of my league because I like deep down I'm still kind of just like a fat ass at heart, like I don't really want to be working out anymore. So I go for a jog. This like state park near me, and it's the same route I take every day. It's like a 4-mile run, and I'm running, and I see in this bush I see some like a neon green color, and I run past it, and I'm just like, what is that? So I run past it, and then I just keep thinking about it, and then I just decide to run back. I run back, and I get closer, I grab a stick, and I see that it's a thong, and it's packed with shit. Like someone shit their pants and threw it into the woods.
God damn, that's so much shit.
I'm just kind of staring at it because it's a sexy, it's like a nice, fancy, silky thong. So I just decide I text my wife and I'm like, found some woman shit her fucking thong. It's really funny. I sent her a photo of it.
Oh my god, that's a really funny story. So what was it, just packed with shit?
I decided to take it with me. So take it with me, I throw it in the back of the car. I have like a little box I throw it in. I go home, I throw it into the garage, kind of forget about it. A couple months go by and I've kind of stopped working out. I'm gaining weight. My wife is ready to have a kid. We're having a hard time conceiving. And it just feels like the marriage is quickly falling apart. So I start spending time in the garage, just kind of staring at the underwear. Just open the box every couple of days. I'll go out there and just kind of look at them, wonder who they belong to. And my wife starts asking questions as to why I keep going out there, and I make up a lie that I'm building something for her.
What are you building up there? When can I see it?
Don't worry about it. Just please don't go in there. I don't want you to see it until it's done.
Is it really for me?
And every once in a while, I'll just start hitting things with a hammer, just to like make loud noises, just to throw her off. And eventually, she goes out there and sees I just have a pile of wood with a bunch of nails in it. It's not. I didn't make anything. It's not like a sculpture or anything. Then she sees the underwear just hanging in the middle of the room. And she's like, "This is fucked up. Those are the underwear that you told me about from 2 years ago." So every once in a while I go out there and I'll just pick a little bit of shit off of it. Just pick a little piece of it off, and just, I don't know, try to get it moist, smell it, do just whatever. The marriage lasts maybe another year, and then she's gone. I don't have a job anymore. We're losing the house. Just kind of giving up on a lot of things. And we can't make, the baby never happened. We just couldn't conceive, and it was my fault. I'm watching TV one night and I see an ad that you can get DNA testing done, and so I decide that I'm gonna find out who owned the underwear. So I send it away. It takes 3 months. I get it back. I find out who it is, and I want to talk to her. I want to meet her, and I can't find her online, but I have an address. And then I decide that I should do testing on it as well to find out if she has any allergies. If there's like anything in the family that she should know about. So I find out that she colon cancer runs in the family. So colon cancer runs in the family, and I get her phone number. I call her. It just goes straight to voicemail. I don't leave a message. So I call every day for like 2 months, and finally I get an answer, and a woman tells me that the woman passed away of colon cancer 3 months ago. So I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. And then I just go outside. I chip off all the shit off the underwear.
Fuck, they still stink.
I scrub them in my sink, and then I put them on and I jack off in them. That's it.
God damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's kind of
It's dark. I meant
Yeah.
well.
it's yeah. I mean, I see nothing but gray skies throughout this whole fantasy.
It's the least I've ever hurt someone in a fantasy. You know, like I didn't assault anyone. Usually there's some sort of assault happening.
Yeah.
It's also probably the saddest.
Wow. Something is
Yeah.
up with you. We don't need to dig into it, but I had a feeling. I mean, the second you got on camera, I could tell something was up. You had something to say.
I mean, I thought it was beautiful. And I've been thinking I think a lot about your guys' fantasies in between episodes. And I've been thinking about like, taking the fantasy and running with it. And for that one, John, I would love to take that fantasy and figure out a way to get some of the DNA from that shit and
Make
try
a
to
clone or something.
try to see what happens. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Even if
yeah.
it's just like a pile of flesh in a test tube somewhere,
Yeah,
but
like
just try to
It doesn't make it.
It's still something.
just something just so you can connect with some kind of material thing that you can fuck or get fucked by.
Yeah, I mean, there was in high school, there was this girl that sat in front of me. I cut off a little bit of her hair. Like, that was like a way for me to feel connected to her for like quite a long time. So
Yeah, you did that with a couple of girls, if I remember correctly.
it's like a common, I don't know, impulse people have.
Yeah.
I noticed a reoccurring thing with you, John, is a bright green thong.
Yeah. That's the thing I like.
Yeah,
I like neon on a tan body. That's one of my
sure.
true one of my true fantasies.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
It's very
cool.
80s.
Not necessarily green. I mean, like your hat, Mike. That's kind of what I'm picturing. I see in the woods.
It's like an exciting palette.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
You know, what'd also be cool is if taking a couple of chips of that shit and putting it in like a necklace, like a vial that you wear around your neck.
Yeah.
You can just sniff at it, do whatever you want. It's a conversation piece.
Yeah. Definitely.
I've always had this reoccurring image of being imprisoned and using my own feces to write out fantasies on the wall. You know what I mean? Or like a portrait of someone that I was obsessed with. I think that'd be really romantic and sexy in a way.
It would be. God, what a medium, You could really you could get as specific as controlling exactly what goes into your body to get the exact kind of shit that you want.
Yeah.
Like there's going to be a little bit of variation just because our bodies do certain things, but
I've never thought about shit as a medium.
imagine that, John. Like,
I might try it.
yeah, you eat nothing but cream of wheat for like 36 hours straight. You take that shit, it's going to look, feel, smell a certain way.
Duchamp had some blast paintings.
Yeah, did he paint
really?
things?
No, blast. He had blast. He smeared his blast on stuff.
Oh, okay.
And when he died, they found it. I mean, what a fascinating guy.
Yeah. Sprayed clown on his canvas.
Yeah.
Blast.
God, what a year, guys. This is the end of the year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? God, it's been a long, wild one.
It's been a tough year.
How many episodes have we had?
I think somewhere in the mid-30s
Yeah.
total. Yeah.
Has it been over a year that we've done it?
Oh yeah.
It's been a couple of years.
Crazy.
I know, it's insane. But anyways, I was just thinking back fondly of the memories I had this year. Me and Roddy went to the park, went on the swings. My friend Janice and Steve, we got on pie one day. It was awesome. Kelly and Stevie, we went to go see a movie together, went out to eat afterwards. There's just a lot to be grateful for. All my friends are really attractive, young, and into cool stuff as well.
Cool. What do you guys got going? This is probably going to be our last episode before the new year. What do you got? How are you guys leveling up in 2024?
I'm gonna game a lot.
Mm.
I'm gonna do that because it feels good to.
Yeah.
It feels good to come home and not take a nap.
Yes.
It feels good to ignore my kid in a whole different way.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Get yourself some murder fantasy games,
Yeah,
simulators.
I've been playing Call of Duty.
Oh, that one is good. Yeah, you can really put one in a guy's brain in that one
Yeah,
where you can feel it.
What about you, Nate?
I've been thinking about working on something. I think I'm like 90% there. It's not ready to go to market yet, but you know how like people use food and sex a lot and different, chocolate or whatever, edible undies. You don't get a lot of ice cream in that mix because for obvious reasons, it's going to melt really quickly. It's going to be sticky. I've come up with a polymer-based ice cream that you can use during sex play. It's got like a certain chemical composition where it doesn't melt. It won't melt for about 2 hours after you take it out. And what makes it, it's standard flavors, vanilla chocolate swirl. But what makes it fun is it's got like adult toppings on it. I'm not talking about like Skittles or, kid shit. I'm talking about like caramelized onions, Gruyere cheese, compote, different kinds of like fine compotes. Just really elegant stuff that I think a lot of people would have fun putting on their ice cream. A lot of adults would have fun putting on their ice cream that they would then put on each other's naked bodies and use it as sex stuff. Here's some other ideas I had for toppings. Pan-seared calamari.
Wow.
Hickory dried turkey sausage crumbles. Caramelized onions deep fried in a maple batter. And also dusting, we could include it with like different nootropics. And we call them play tropics. So like different research chemicals that'll help people, excite people and feel different feelings while they're having sex. So that's something that I was thinking about doing in 2024. Look for that to come to market.
To like shop it around, different people might want to invest.
Yeah. I figure you get a bunch of investors at a table, you bring out a couple scoops of this, like, it's what it is basically microplastics, like, insulate this ice cream so that it doesn't melt for a while. And then the microplastics just, like, pass right through you. So it's totally healthy. But just, like, bringing out bowls of the stuff with the different toppings, like a topping bar, and you can put as many toppings as you want on it. And once they have a bite and realize how good it is, and you can use it in sex play, I think they'll have a lot of fun with it. Just imagine being covered head to toe in like 32 degrees ice cream. How sexy that would be.
Well, all these guys that are into cold baths, cold showers might really be interested
Bingo.
as an erotic option for their long-suffering partners,
Bingo. What about you, Mike? What do you got going on for 2024?
2024?
How are you gonna level up?
Well, for me, I want to zero in on the podcast. I feel like just by having the podcast itself, it's limited me in a lot of ways. I can't get more jobs. I can't get employed other places. Once places find out that I do have it, they're going to fire me. So I'm probably going to go all in. I'd like to get at least 3 more listeners, maybe a couple subscribers, more. And I'd like to, what I'd really like to do is just improve my game.
Oh,
you know what I mean? I want to get better at what I do. So even today, I tried to push it a little bit. You guys motivate me. You guys clean the floor with me every week. I want to get up on your level. You inspire me. You know what I mean? You challenge me. You inspire me. And I also want to get like so fit that people worry that there's something wrong with me. You know what I mean? Like, people are like, what's wrong? Why does he need to project that much strength? What happened to him?
Yeah.
So basically those three things, I think, are pretty fair, worthy goals for the next year.
Yeah, I mean, you look, you're like 90% of the way there with your body. You're looking great. I just want to say you're filling out that jersey sweater.
Thanks, man.
I can see your form through it. It's incredible. You're almost there.
Thanks, man. I guess Merry Christmas.
Yeah,
Everyone
Merry
who's been
Christmas, Happy
listening.
New Year.
I like to do